Former director of the FBI, James Comey, under fire today for changing his speech in the Clinton email case. An early draft of what he was going to say said, quote, "There is evidence to support a conclusion that Secretary Clinton and others used the email server in a manner that was grossly negligent with respect to the handling of classified information." Remember that, grossly negligent.
Well, then he ultimately, Steve, removed gross negligence to scold Hillary as extremely careless. So what's the significance here? Under federal law, gross negligence can be punished criminally.
Does it matter, Judge? He's here, Fox News senior judicial analyst. I'd ask that question generically, but you showed up, so answer me directly.
But you also asked that question maybe a year and a half ago when all this came out, and almost a year and a half ago in July of 2016. July 5, James Comey surprises everybody with a surprise announcement. He's number 3 in the Justice Department, but he's not letting his bosses decide. He has decided Hillary Clinton will not be prosecuted because she was extremely careless rather than intentional with respect to the manner in which she failed to safeguard state secrets on her email system, her private server.
Right.
Well, this is the rare federal statute that doesn't require the government to prove intent. This statute, the government can get a conviction if you are grossly negligent. So I ask you, and I ask anybody watching us now who understands the English language, which is everybody watching us, what is the difference between grossly negligent and extremely careless? Nothing. They mean the same thing. James Comey thought he could pull a fast one on the American people by using a slightly less offensive sounding term, extremely careless, and thereby exonerate her. Right. But legally, it's the same thing. She looked the other way, knowing that state secrets were available for people to hack and that they, in fact, were hacked.
What is it, to sell his book? I mean, why does this come out now?
It's coming out now in response to a subpoena from the Senate Judiciary Committee to the Justice Department, and Senator Grassley released it yesterday. Right. And then Senator Grassley responded by saying, okay, so who rewrote this? James Comey's responsible for what he said, but who did, as we were talking during the break, the redlining? Who actually went in the draft and made the changes? We also learned yesterday that there was a debate in the FBI about whether or not the government had to prove intent. And a young FBI agent stood up to the director and said, "Mr. Director, under the law, we don't have to prove intent here. Right. There is enough evidence to convict if she was grossly negligent."
But Judge, this goes back to a point you have made many, many times on this program, and that is, it wasn't the job of James Comey to figure out whether or not she should be prosecuted.
So here's what's in Senator Grassley's mind and the minds of a lot of us looking at this. Why? Why did he, if I may, fudge the standard in order to let Hillary off the hook?
Why do you think? Why?
You know, Loretta Lynch was not going to do anything. He knew he had to do something.
Well, that's what he said.
He didn't yet, but he did something because Lynch was going to do nothing.
Okay, so here's what I want to say to Attorney General Sessions, who's probably watching us now. If Jim Comey was fired for the reasons that the president and you have said, which is for dropping the ball on Hillary Clinton, pick up the ball and run with it. Present that evidence to a grand jury.
Is that too late?
No, it is not too late. And the Justice Department is not bound by Comey's erroneous decision. Let a grand jury decide whether or not she should be prosecuted.
All right. We'll continue to follow it.
Let's
Thank you,
hope we
Judge.
have the sound up on the show in the first hour.
Yes.
All right, Judge, interesting stuff.
Thank you, guys.
All right, coming up this Tuesday, President Trump warning North Korea not to mess with the U.S., but the mainstream media doesn't care. They want to know why he hasn't